Hello and welcome to South Asia Focus. I'm Avneet Arora. Afghanistan President Dr. Ashraf Ghani was on a 3-day visit to India the past week to strengthen bilateral relations between both nations. This was Ghani's first trip to India after becoming president. Here's a report. Ghani arrived in New Delhi on April 28th and was accorded a guard of honour at the President House in the presence of President Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He later called on Mr. Modi and held delegation-level talks with Indian officials. The visit was an opportunity for India to regain lost ground to neighbouring Pakistan and China and push its own interests, which consist of access to trade routes and the sale of arms. According to experts, the discussions focused on giving final approval of a tripartite transit agreement involving India, Afghanistan and Iran centred on the Iranian port of Chabahar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, on his part, assured Dr. Ghani of New Delhi's assistance in fighting terrorism and ensuring development. Mr. Modi also said President Ghani shared his vision for Afghanistan's prosperity based on its talent, resources and location.
India will walk shoulder to shoulder with you and the Afghan people in a mission of global importance. Your visit has added new momentum to our partnership.
Mr. Modi said India was deeply grateful to Afghanistan security forces for protecting Indians in Afghanistan. He also added that India shared Afghanistan's pain over persisting militancy and extremist violence.
When India admired the courage and resolve of the Afghan people to seek a future of peace and prosperity, they are succeeding against huge challenges. The relationship between India and Afghanistan is not just between two countries or governments. It is a timeless link of human hearts.
Dr. Ghani said Afghanistan is resolute in trying to restore normalcy in the region and stressed that terrorism cannot be defined as good or bad.
Terror must be confronted and must be overcome. We are determined to make Afghanistan the graveyard of terror. Our will must not be underestimated, and we will not be beaten into submission. But terror, if it's to be contained, and if the disease is to be cured, root, stock and branch, requires a regional framework of peace and cooperation.
Dr. Ghani thanked India for the $2.2 billion in aid over the last 10 years and drew an impressive future plan for his troubled country to finally accomplish economic stability and peace. Adding that Afghanistan offered immense natural resources such as copper, iron ore and rare earth metals estimated at $1 to $3 trillion that could be used for regional economic development. Meanwhile, wooing Indian investors, Dr. Ghani, while addressing a business summit in New Delhi, offered them incentives like personal meetings and palace stays while promising them that nobody will shake them down in Afghanistan. He said the Indian private sector was a major collaborator in transforming Afghanistan from an area ravaged by crisis to a centre where goods, ideas, people flow in all directions. Unlike his predecessor Hamid Karzai, Dr. Ghani has warmed up to neighbouring Pakistan to help agree to a settlement with the Taliban and to China to pump in some power to the flagging peace process and to invest in the Afghan economy. This move naturally did not go down well with India, which felt Ghani was inclined more towards Pakistan. However, according to reports, the Ghani administration has candidly conveyed to Pakistan that Afghanistan can help Pakistan get access to Tajikistan if Pakistan helps India to get access to Afghanistan. A significant move considering the past and a move which surely makes the Afghanistan president's visit to New Delhi successful. Incidentally, Dr. Ghani's India visit was earlier postponed as intense fighting broke out between Afghan security forces and Taliban terrorists that killed many and threatened a major northern city in Afghanistan on April 27th. The fierce battle took place on the outskirts of Kunduz province, which led Dr. Ghani to delay his departure by several hours. Officials said hundreds of Taliban terrorists had attacked police and army checkposts in Kunduz, their only remaining stronghold. When asked about the current status of talks with the Taliban, Dr. Ghani hinted that there might be a role for the Taliban in Afghan policy, but within the country's constitutional framework.
Authority in our hands is not an instrument of divide and rule, but gathering and uniting. So if there are grievances, the place ultimately is the table. What's the difference between the Taliban and the international networks of terror? The latter have no place in our future policy. If they are produced by conditions in their countries or by or ideas of global destabilization, then we must deal with them outside the framework of Afghan political processes. The Afghan constitution has a place for every Afghan. But the other networks are challenging all of us. So we will focus.
Dr. Ghani also said there was a need to involve and talk with everybody to bring lasting peace to the war-torn nation.
Whoever is a political reason to disagree with the legitimate government must be engaged politically. This is not a question of taste, it is an imperative. We've shown through the formation of the Government of National Unity that we strive for an inclusive policy, not one of exclusion.
According to South Asian security expert Alok Bansal, Ghani's India visit has helped settle apprehensions of him being tilted towards Pakistan and that eventually the Afghan president will also realize Pakistan's double talk.
See, Ashraf Ghani's visit to India, which is going on, has actually been a very significant visit and for some time, ever since President Ghani came to power, there has been a feeling in India that he's leaning more towards Pakistan, and that had created certain apprehensions because he took some time to visit India despite a huge approval rating for India within Afghanistan, and this had created certain apprehensions. I think those apprehensions have been allayed. President Ghani has actually clarified his stance as to why he has to go to Pakistan and how he's looking forward to restoring peace in his country. However, I feel like President Karzai earlier, I think he will also soon realize that lasting peace with Pakistan is not peaceable. Pakistan has a vested interest in fomenting trouble inside Afghanistan. And I think this visit has reassured India to some extent. He's also trying to get Indian investment into Afghanistan. I hope he's successful to some extent.
India must be confident if it wants to be seen as a long-term partner in Afghanistan, especially on development and security issues, which the Ghani administration is serious about, more serious than former President Hamid Karzai probably was. As former Indian diplomat Kamal Sibal said, India needs to keep a presence in Afghanistan and Central Asia to consolidate its image as a benign partner capable of providing economic benefits and assistance and maintaining a power balance in the region. It does not serve the interest of Western democracies to weaken India's position in Afghanistan to the advantage of a military-dominated, terrorism-driven, democratically weak and radicalizing state like Pakistan. Earlier this month, India delivered 3 light helicopters to Afghanistan. Indian and Afghan sources said a small deal that came 3 years late and was a far cry from Karzai's request in 2013 that included field guns and battle tanks. Afghanistan would want to maintain close ties with India just to redress its balance with Pakistan and deter it from interfering too much in Afghanistan. India, which has immense goodwill in Afghanistan, will look to not squandering it and aim to increase its influence, especially in the economic and infrastructural sectors. This is all we have in today's episode. Thank you for watching South Asia Focus.